Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports and 3Chi, and a very special Wrestlemania edition of My Mom's Basement. It's a wrestling crossover, it's a Kraken Aces crossover, and this is the first time in the history of Barstool that we've seen the then, now, and forever of Barstool.
Together.
Of Barstool Wrestling, really.
Yeah, it really is. It's pretty shocking that I did wrestling for a year and a half and we never collabed at all.
Because you guys hate each other.
With that, yes, we have a feud.
Kayfabe. Yeah,
we were building up to a big blow-off match at some point. We just never had it.
Yeah, and then Vince took over.
And then the third member of the team went to the competition.
Correct. Wrestling went out of business and got bought out by My Mom's Basement. Mm-hmm. So now I just work for him.
Yeah.
That'd be nice if you did, honestly.
We
could always use the help. But we're here to talk about WrestleMania. WrestleMania, the two-night extravaganza. One night seemed like every wrestling fan's wet dream. The next night didn't go the quite same. I
think a lot of it
for
did.
most of it.
I think a lot of it did. I think night two's getting a lot of undeserved hatred for the ending.
Agreed.
And the ending is something that is a big bone of contention for a lot of people. But I think that's discounting a lot of great work on night two before the main event. And the main event itself, the actual match.
And not to be contrarian, we will be talking about the ending to night two forever because of how polarizing it is.
It's true.
I think it's one of the more baffling booking decisions I've ever seen in my 25 years of being alive.
Yeah.
I would agree. Let's get into it. Let's talk about night one, then let's talk about night two, and then we'll talk about some of the future.
Very good.
The company real quick, sold to Endeavor. Vince McMahon has a mustache now.
Raw after Mania, I think is the bigger, which is crazy. I think it's the bigger story than night one or night two. I think Raw after Mania shows so much about where we're at.
I don't know if it's the bigger story. It is certainly
it's something.
It's an epilogue that leads you to that might make you close the book. It's interesting. It
has worn away at me all day today. It has frustrated me. It's made I love when wrestling's good. I love writing about wrestling. I love talking about wrestling.
Yeah.
And we were on such a great path. And then it was just like, let's throw a grenade into this because I'm Vince McMahon and I said so. And fuck that, dude.
Let me tell you something. You're not going to talk about a man with a mustache like that, okay?
That mustache.
Mr. Snidely Whiplash has... not the mustache, Robbie. I mean, the mustache is one thing.
Yeah.
He dyed his eyebrows.
The eyebrows are dyed. I noticed that as well.
He dyed his hair, his eyebrows, and his mustache.
Yeah.
Like, this man is now worth, which he was already worth probably billions anyway.
Yeah.
He just sold for $9 billion, and he came out with the worst look he could possibly come out with.
Yeah.
And we know he has nobody in his team that's going to say that ain't it.
Oh, no. Do you think people have said,
yes,
I love
Mr. McMahon. Great look, Mr. McMahon.
Yeah. I love the new
Shane
look.
McMahon went out and tore his quad just so he wouldn't have to stand. Just so he wouldn't have to stand and look Vince eye to eye.
It was a beautiful tribute to his father.
It really was. It is funny if you think about all the people in power in WWE, Vince, Triple H, Shane,
Kevin Dunn.
They have all blown out their quads on camera.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's just happened. Like, that's just a prereq. It's such an odd injury. Do you know anybody, you've been in wrestling training and stuff, but I don't know anybody in my life who's ever torn their quad.
I don't either. I've been around wrestling for years. Only the McMahons. And
100% of the people on camera.
Yeah.
Flair's chop and McMahon's blow out their quads. It's wrestling. It's like Samoans, too.
Yeah.
It's
the headbutts,
yeah.
They just have weak quads, the McMahons. They tear right off the bone.
Yeah,
let's talk about WrestleMania.
You fill yourself with horse steroids, things happen.
Yeah.
I'm just so angry about it. Okay.
Let's get into it. Austin Theory and John Cena kick off the show. I thought it was a good choice to put this first with John Cena going first. The match was fine. It was nothing special.
Well, one of the themes of what I felt throughout this show was this feels like its own era of wrestling. It isn't trying to be anything else. This show, for the first 80%, felt new. It felt fresh. It felt like they were making bold decisions to move forward.
Yes.
And while the match itself was just, all right.
Yeah.
It was just, John Cena is not even a part-timer. He's just a Mania guy now.
Yep.
And he just doesn't have it right now. He's not in full-time mode. And Theory was trying to carry him around. It was a fine match, but the decision to go ahead and give Theory a win over John Cena will pay dividends down the road.
Yeah. Will it, though, with
I think
this
so.
win?
I think so.
Cena got the tap on him.
Well, that clean, not clean, does any of it matter? I mean, like Roman Reigns won because Solo's thumb. Like clean, not clean doesn't really matter.
Don't get me triggered yet.
5 years from now, when Theory's standing in the middle of the ring, he's not going to be talking about, remember when I almost tapped but I beat John Cena? No, it's going to be retconned into him beating Cena clean in the middle of the ring.
I guess. I like Austin Theory as a person. I know he's done the yak stuff. He's a nice guy. I'm not fully sold on him yet.
You don't think the character is there?
No.
I like it. I like where they were potentially going with him. I think I texted you. I like Austin Theory as the new legend killer. I like him as sort of challenge me. He'll beat Orton. That could be a big match. Just these veterans. Like, I like the rise of Theory, and I really saw potential. I think he's good on the mic. He has that look that Vince loves. And I liked him getting the pin over Cena. I thought it was a good way to kick off Mania.
I agree with that. Then the Street Profits won the WrestleMania Tag Team Showcase. This was fucking awesome. I think this was better than it had any right to be. The Chad Gable German suplex on Braun Strowman, Ricochet doing every flip in the book to the outside.
My God, get that guy in a ladder match before he can't do twists and turns anymore.
So I thought, these 4-man or these 4-team exhibitions, right?
Yeah.
When they just put as many people on the card as possible, can often just be slogs like, okay, everybody's out there, everybody's getting a paycheck, yay, 10 minutes, let's get out of here. It felt like all 8 of these guys were like, you know what, fuck it, I'm on WrestleMania. We're going to go. And they all had a moment where they all just start, like the Street Profit not named Montez Ford. Dawkins. Dawkins taking out Braun Strowman was incredible. Everybody. Gable with the rolling suplex on Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I think there are 3 or 4 guys in this match that you could take out, make a single star, and like Gable, I think could do bigger things.
He's been underrated for years.
Montez Ford, we all are just waiting for him to get the star push. But yeah, I thought for what it was delightful.
Yeah, very short too. I think this was like 8 minutes. All it needed to be.
It was a sprint.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said, where you said for the first 80%, it looked like it was a new era and they were pushing people forward. They weren't doing your stereotypical WWE match. It wasn't going through the motions. We know this spot's coming, this spot's coming, this spot's coming, pin, 1, 2, 3, done. It was almost like they knew what was, a day away, and they said, we're going to put our balls on the line, and we're not going to listen to what street agent Road Dogg tells us to do. We're going to put on a fucking match, and they delivered.
Well, not to jump ahead or anything, but Street Profits won the match, right?
Yep.
And I thought it was a great match, and it really kind of set the table for what was to come. It really was the first, because Theory Cena wasn't great, and then this one was.
Yeah. And
it set the table for things to come. But does it sour you at all? Because the Street Profits won that match, had a bunch of momentum, and they show up on Raw after Mania, and they just wrestle the champs and lose.
Lost right away.
Immediately.
When we can do 3 hours about how angry every single thing on Raw after Mania made me. Every single thing.
Montez fucked up that finish. That was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough to watch. He didn't roll back into the turnbuckle. When they get that right, and it's the stunner into the haluva kick, I think that's going to be an awesome tag finisher.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it will be good.
It does. I mean, it bothers me a little bit, but I didn't look at this as like the biggest number 1 contender match ever, so I'm not super bummed.
Yeah, and Street Profits can always get a shot. There's no, but when are the Street Profits going to transition into Montez Ford being Montez Ford?
I think it should be pretty soon.
I have this idea, Robbie, of Montez Ford, biggest heel in wrestling, and Bianca Belair is right beside him, and they're just 2 assholes that are just the best wrestlers.
I mean, I would kind of like to see her as the biggest baby face and him as the biggest heel, and the fans to have that dichotomy.
That's not bad either.
Like, that would be kind of like, how can you love this guy and we love you? Like, that would be really cool as well. I think definitely doing almost the Becky Seth thing with them, where it's not acknowledged every time, but everyone knows that they're together, would be cool when he eventually breaks off into a solo star. Speaking of Seth Rollins, his match against Logan Paul was awesome. I think as we anticipated it would be at this point. Logan Paul, he's going to go out there and do something that goes viral. It was the prime spot this time with KSI. I thought that was really good as well. Like, I know it's a shameless plug, a shameless ad. The way they worked that spot in with KSI filming himself and everything was great. This was another match that gave us like a WrestleMania moment and did what it needed to do.
Is it crazy to say the greatest celebrity match in the history of WrestleMania?
Oh, that's a good question.
Tell me a better one.
That's a really good question. The Bad Bunny one is pretty good.
Is there a better celebrity performer in the history of this business than Logan Paul?
No.
And is he even considered a celebrity performer now because that's his 5th match in a year? Is he just a wrestler now in that universe? Because he kind of seems like he is.
He kind of is.
I got a lot of notes about this match.
Do you?
Go on.
First of all, the zipline entrance, liked it.
I didn't love it.
Wasn't great because he ended on the ramp.
It was so slow too. It kind of.
But he was talking like it was like a heel thing to do. Go a slow zip line and talk to him while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Look at me. Now I will say the second Seth Rollins hit the entrance ramp, he took my breath away. That red thing,
the
was
giant
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I loved
The little gimp suit under my heavens.
the Jeff Jarrett tribute.
There was a Jeff Jarrett. Yeah.
Rollins. I don't know when exactly Rollins became the gear guy, where he's just going to give you some gear, special gear. But it was great. And then they get in the ring, and I don't know. It was just awesome. Seth Rollins can wrestle anybody.
Yeah.
Logan Paul kind of can wrestle anybody.
He didn't have a single stutter, flub, botch, nothing.
He looked like a wrestler. He looked like he's been doing this. There are other matches on this card with wrestlers who have been wrestling for 10 years. Small mistakes here or there. I never saw it with him.
Dude, I mean, at the Rumble, he did the turnbuckle smash
him
in the
into
middle.
Ricochet, that was insane.
Yeah,
something we've never seen before.
He's a top athlete at the company.
Can I say something controversial?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
please.
He might have a better fucking over-the-top rope clothesline than Hangman Page.
I don't know that that's controversial at all. I was going to bring it up. Did it strike you that he used it very early in the match, almost as like a transition move?
Yeah.
And it's Hangman's finisher.
Yeah.
That was kind of like
Does
burying
Logan Paul
the
have
move,
a
you mean?
finisher right now? Is it the punch?
That's awesome.
is it the punch or the frog splash? I feel like the frog splash
It might be the frog splash. Yeah.
But
You have a lot of notes.
you could pretend Roman Reigns doesn't exist right now and he's got a hammerlock on the title. You could put the title on Logan Paul, no problem.
People wouldn't like it.
They wouldn't like it, but let's say we had a regular champ right
Bob,
now.
he's credible.
You
could buy it.
He can't be Roman Reigns, but let's say there's a regular champ right now. It's the normal.
Logan Paul could beat Finn Balor for a title.
Correct.
Yeah.
He could beat Kevin Owens for a title.
Bob won't like.
I wouldn't
that.
like it, but it could happen.
He could.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You wouldn't be able. We're talking fantasy bookings now. I wouldn't buy that as much as I would buy someone who is interchangeable. I think KO is a little more elevated, but I see what you're saying.
Anybody the champ other than Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns has been the champ for 1,000 days, and they're not going to let it end by Logan Paul. But if anybody else were the champ,
yeah.
If somebody had beaten him, for it along the way, if Randy Orton was the champ right now,
Yep.
Logan Paul, Randy Orton could headline at SummerSlam, and Logan Paul could go over.
I mean, you were saying about Cody and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. If Cody would have won at WrestleMania, you could have main evented with that.
Absolutely could have main evented.
Yeah.
And there was a second during this WrestleMania, I thought that might be a real possibility. And Logan's probably going to show up at every Mania, every SummerSlam, and wrestle somebody.
He should. Why not? They're probably paying him up the ass.
Oh yeah.
With the new deals and everything.
I would imagine, hell, we're paying him just to say he likes the sports once every 2 fucking years, so why not?
Good point. He's a part-time Barstool employee as well.
Money.
Trish, Lita, and Becky defeated Damage Control. Another one that was nothing special. I thought it was fine for what it was. This is a nostalgia match, and seeing Trish and Lita, seeing Trish, I'll never be angry at.
Whew,
She's something.
She is a stunner.
Lita can't really wrestle anymore.
No. She was wrestling in quicksand.
Do you guys get so nervous when she goes to the top rope for the lead assault?
I get nervous when,
I get so nervous because there was one time she came back, I think in 2018 before the Rumble, where she almost landed on her head for that.
I'm just going to say it. I did not enjoy the times when Lita was in the ring for this match. I didn't feel like she. The level of wrestling in the women's division is higher than it was back then. And she's older but Trish can still
great.
go. Yeah.
Still great. Still has the Stratusfaction, the chick kick in her arsenal. Looked great. The WrestleMania 21 outfit she had on looked great.
The only sad part for me is, there's some great women's matches on this card, and we'll get to them. But Bayley and Becky, there were probably better uses of them than this.
And Bayley seems pissed.
They have failed Bayley. To go from Bayley Sasha to what she is now, and she kind of did a goodbye tweet on Twitter today.
I thought they failed Sasha before she left too.
They failed. They did.
When those 4 got on the
did.
main card, and Becky made her own self a star, but Charlotte was just pushed as the biggest
I would say
deal.
Becky put herself over. Yeah. Charlotte is just the best wrestler.
Yeah.
I
think Sasha's the best wrestler out of those 4.
Charlotte, man.
That's what I think. That's just my opinion.
I think.
I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
but
are. Sasha throws way more caution to the wind. Sasha will let you throw her into a barricade and break every bone in her body to give you a good bump.
Well, I don't want to shit on Charlotte there because she'll do a moonsault onto anything.
True. She does that crazy.
She'll land on her head.
She breaks up.
Yeah.
But I just think they have failed Bayley so much, and then she was ignored on Raw after Mania. She said wrestling can be heartbreaking.
Yeah, the greatest love story has the most heartbreaking
Seems
conclusion.
like she might be done, or I don't know.
I mean,
it's
listen,
tough.
She might go out and join.
Also, she's got her best friend traveling the world having the time of her life.
Yeah.
She might want to go over there.
But listen, night one was a terrific night.
Terrific.
This match was the weakest part of it.
Easily. One of the strongest parts and one of the strongest duos of entrances we got all WrestleMania was Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, father versus son, the matchup we've wanted for a really long time, since Dominic's debut pretty much. Their entrances were phenomenal. Dominic coming out with the ode to his time in prison and the handcuffs.
It's so funny.
Bringing him out. And one of the guys was Officer Dan Barry, who does like a sergeant gimmick on the indies, bringing him out. So that was great. And then Rey Mysterio having nothing but a G thing. Snoop Dogg driving him out, hitting Eddie Guerrero's music, and then his. That was the perfect stage to be set for this match, and then the match was incredible as well. It was a family drama, Bad Bunny getting involved, setting up a match for Backlash pretty much.
Pound for pound, one of my favorite WrestleMania matches I've seen in the last 20 years.
Wow.
Because when Ray and Dom were tag teaming and they were bringing Dom along, I didn't see much.
Yeah.
I didn't see much. I was like, I don't know about this. In fact, they wrestled in Logan Paul's match last year, right? Wasn't it them against the
Yes,
Miz? Yeah,
it was.
I was like, I don't know. And then he gets with the Judgment Day and he starts to grow the hair out, and you're like, okay, but WrestleMania, when he comes out in the back of that paddy wagon, and he's got the mask on, and he's walking, and they take the mask off, and his face, like, that's a star, man. That kid's over. He's leaning into it. I was like, yeah, I'm picking up everything Dom Mysterio's laying down. And then Ray does the fucking Snoop Dogg thing, and he does the Eddie thing, and he does his own thing, and the match goes 20 minutes, and they bring in the sister and the mom, and I thought it was phenomenal from start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while I thought Dom could definitely use some NXT time. He never, as far as I understand, never wrestled indies, never did NXT, and then he was just thrown.
Yeah.
And you could see that he is a little green, but obviously he's just been trained by the best since he was 12.
Yeah.
So and then it paid off. They invested in him. They trusted him a ton, and he paid it off. I thought it was, and I'm with you. The entrance was just unbelievable. I loved it. Very high hopes for Dom.
It was such a great package of, all right, our time starts now when Dom starts to come out. The entrances into the match, into the Bad Bunny involvement.
Yeah.
It was all done perfectly. And just think about the fact that Rey Mysterio has been with them since 2002, right?
Yeah.
His first Mania was 19.
He had a whole career before that.
His first Mania was 19. He had a whole career before that. He just had his best WrestleMania match. Name a better WrestleMania match than that one for him.
I think you're probably right about that. You know what? WrestleMania 22 is a classic.
When they won the title over
Kurt
Orton,
Angle and Orton. It's shorter though. It's like a 13, 12 minute.
I don't think it was what it could have been.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely. They were supposed to get more time. His match against CM Punk at 27 was really good, but not this.
Yeah.
This might be his best WrestleMania match.
This you talk about match, but the entertainment value on this one started the second the entrances. I wouldn't judge this as a match. It's
this
a
is
whole
the full experience.
This was
of WrestleMania.
This was like a whole show in and of itself.
Great is when the story pays off.
Yeah.
That is what makes good moments so special. Is it's not just people can have good. There's 5-star matches that I'll probably never even see. Just like overseas. But the good stories, and this story has just been told and delivered and paid off with a great match.
And that's also why WWE's been so good in the road to WrestleMania. It's the stories.
Yes.
The wrestling quality's always been there. The roster's always been there. It's the stories they're putting together at this point.
I think the last 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, maybe some of their best story writing they've ever done.
Agreed.
Because they finally did it on multiple levels. For the first time in a very long time, it wasn't Reigns and then nothing else mattered. It was this story matters, this story matters, this story matters, this story matters. And it all paid off. And I'm not going to talk about it yet. And then they blew it all up the next time.
A story that I didn't love going into WrestleMania, but they over-delivered on their match was Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair.
Could have main evented.
I disagree with that.
I mean, I know
don't
because
think
the
they
main
could've
event
on
was
a
so
normal
good.
night. It could have.
Thank you.
On,
That's
on
yes,
a normal
yes,
night.
yes.
Yes, they couldn't have followed the tag match, but the match itself between Rhea and Charlotte was awesome. The right woman won. Rhea got the big WrestleMania moment in front of a big crowd.
Dude,
really
she
good
rules.
stuff.
She rules.
Yeah.
Like, she is so cool. She has the build. She can wrestle with anybody.
Has a great look. Like that look for a casual wrestling fan immediately goes.
You immediately
Whoa,
know it's
that's
somebody.
a wrestler.
Yeah, I thought it was a terrific match. Now, when you say you didn't like the story, what did you not like about the story? I don't know if
little rushed.
the immediacy of the story between when it was announced until now, I don't know if they stuck that landing, but the fact that she lost to Charlotte 2 years ago.
I like that. I don't like Charlotte as a babyface.
I don't think Charlotte likes Charlotte as a babyface.
No, I don't think so
She
either.
doesn't-
And I could feel
the
that.
crowd wants to cheer for Rhea so badly.
And they did in this
Yeah,
match. They were
she's-
just like, we don't give a fuck.
Vince never realized in the last 10 years, if you have like a badass look and someone cool who beats the shit out of everybody, the crowd's going to like that
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
And yeah, Charlotte should never be a face. Ever, ever,
No.
ever.
She's going to take some time off, apparently. She
Well,
just gave the WWE a heads
she
up.
loves
I mean,
taking
I
time
don't know
off.
how she would be a face. I don't even know how to identify her face. She's got to chill in plastic surgery. It's just
Everybody your choice.
it's
Whoa.
it's a different one every
I
time.
gotta cut that
Unreal,
out.
unreal.
Someone's
This guy,
working
this
extra
guy.
tonight.
That's why we don't have a show.
Yeah, for real.
I'm sorry. Is this not Barstool Sports? We can't talk
No,
about it.
that's a good
I'll
point.
let it fly. I didn't say it. It wasn't me. It wasn't him.
That was the
She's a beautiful lady, and I just
boycott the yak.
Gorgeous. Boycott the yak. That's right. Pat McAfee. Surprise
Maybe-
appearance.
maybe
Surprise
no.
match.
Let's just not clip that out.
No, we won't clip that. Surprise appearance against The Miz. Quick 3-minute little segment here. They got George Kittle in. I was just happy for George Kittle
Okay.
to get his WrestleMania
Real
moment.
real quick. Kittle got no pop, and it's not his fault. He doesn't play on the team that plays in that stadium. He plays
Yeah.
on a upstate team.
Well,
that
they also
it just,
never. To my knowledge, they didn't ever say. There should be a crowd shot earlier saying this is George Kittle of the
Yes.
San Francisco
Yeah,
49ers. They never
good
did
call.
that.
There was no
They did
build
that the next day.
He's
Yeah.
not even part of the WWE universe unless you follow him on Twitter and see that he wears Stone Cold shirts like on game day. They just expected people, and George Kittle is a Pro Bowler NFL player.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't get a pop because they never built him
He's
to have
also
a
not
reason.
exactly a star.
or
Like
a pop.
he's a star player if you watch the NFL.
Yeah.
But you
Or
don't
a
know him
Barstool
if you don't
fan.
watch the NFL. Yeah.
Can credit the Miz. I mean, he's been doing it for 20 years. He doesn't miss. He's great on the mic. He does great matches.
Yeah.
And then he just eats shit night after night after night after night. And it's just, I just think he deserves better.
So I don't know if he deserves better because I think he's so good at doing that
Yeah.
role. But I want to shout out Miz and Snoop Dogg because I thought they really performed their roles beautifully.
Oh, they were great. Yeah.
As far as when you bring a celebrity in to guest host, it's usually awkward, and
The fans usually want to
they might call it Summerfest or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Snoop was on point every single segment that they did, and then he set up this well, and McAfee got his moment.
I guess my point is like, yeah, so like the Miz is better than a Dolph Ziggler who can't even incite a reaction. It's just like wallpaper. But the Miz is better than a Zack Ryder who you could put into that position and he could execute it. I just think the Miz has been doing it long enough that he doesn't have to just eat shit every week for 2 years.
But I think that shit-eating role is so valuable.
And I
know,
understand.
yeah.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I'm not saying
If
you're
you can
wrong.
make a career out of that, you've made a hell of a career.
I think he's so much better at doing that than being that main event guy.
But
and he can be that
he
main
can
event guy.
he can heal main event.
Yeah, if
when
you
they
need
put
it-
the
if-
title on him during COVID, that was cool. For just it was like
Yeah,
8
if you
days.
need it to transition, or if you can throw him in whenever.
Yeah.
But he's like a 6th, 7th, 8th inning relief guy, which if you need him to go in the 2nd inning, he can go in.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be a star in that 6th, 7th, 8th inning, and those are very valuable
I
to a
get
baseball.
they trust him so much that he is the host of WrestleMania,
Yeah.
but I also hate that he just isn't involved in the title picture whatsoever at any level at all.
But I think he's got a job for life.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think he's got a job for life, and I think he is.
Do you think he'll
he's
go to
a made
commentary?
man.
Do you think he'll go to commentary? Like almost
Yeah,
like
I think
Yeah.
I think Miz will be on WWE TV until Miz dies.
I think so as well.
I got triggered by a tweet. Someone said he is like carving out his Hall of Fame career. I was like, carving out? He is a bona fide, no doubt about it, 100% first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Pretty
not
much
even
anyone
close.
who main events WrestleMania is, in my mind.
I almost the fact that the careers kind of last a long time now,
Yeah.
and everybody circles around to the title eventually. Like I don't know that anybody that performed on this Mania isn't going to be a Hall of Famer. Like if you have carved out a 5-10 year
good
career
point.
in WWE, you're just there.
If they split the belts again, I could see Miz having another title.
I hope they don't.
Like-
I don't want them to split the belts.
Like Braun Strowman.
You know they
Braun
will.
Strowman was in a tag match. Braun Strowman's a WWE Hall of Famer already.
Yeah, he probably is.
He is. It's based on
Now that is a good discussion we could have.
I think he is.
Right now?
I think
if
he is.
he stopped wrestling right now, 10 years
Part of
from
the
now,
Wyatt
he would.
family.
Yeah, 10 years from now, he would be
Also,
put in.
he is so athletic and in such good shape. And remember when he was at the top of the top and they just didn't do it for him?
I gotta say,
God, I love Braun.
I loved Braun. I loved his time at the top. Right now, I'm not in on him. He just looks like a generic.
You think he got too in shape?
It's not too in shape. It's too normal. He just looks like a guy I would see at the local LA Fitness. He used to look like a guy from the swamp that was like a monster.
He's big, but he's not that big. Like he's not like shockingly big.
No.
Not like Omos is shockingly big.
And if we can just finish off the Wyatt family once and for all, Bray, just rest in peace, brother. I'm
sorry. I'm out on Bray. I have been
I'm
for a
kind of
while.
out on Bray too.
I'm sorry. I'm out on him.
And he's got to stop getting plastic surgery.
yeah.
So I'm trying to cover my tracks.
He overcomplicated. I was telling Bob, he just overcomplicated it. Just be the weirdo and do matches. He couldn't help himself.
He's got to have 10 different storylines.
That Uncle Howdy
character,
thing, the story drug for like 6 months and nothing ever happened. Like, okay.
Alexa Bliss she died.
They ruined her.
She died.
Liv Morgan was almost part of it for a second. It seemed like.
Yeah, she got lucky to get
Poor
out.
Alexa.
You mentioned a name I'd like to talk about for 30 seconds.
Go off.
You said Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
What happened to Matt Cardona being on Raw last night? I thought.
I know Jay White too. I thought.
Jay White. I thought we were getting some surprise.
We will do our 3 hours about Raw after Mania. We will get there.
So question: are we in an era where we should change that to the SmackDown after Mania? Because
I was thinking that too, but
it's on Fox.
I know it is, but Raw after Mania is the day
It's the
after.
day.
But they might be changing it.
But it's that WrestleMania crowd is still there.
SmackDown's their bigger show now.
I know it is, but it's in Portland this week. You know what I mean? Like they're
Pathetic.
going up to
That's
Oregon.
Pathetic.
It's not that WrestleMania crowd.
Going to be a bunch of Antifas.
Yeah.
The main event of night one.
They'll be in good spirits after today, though.
Is it? We didn't really talk. Did we talk about Charlotte Ripley enough?
I thought you were going to say something.
I mean,
I guess we
I
did.
got all I needed to say.
Okay,
about it.
yeah. Well, I think Rhea Ripley is maybe one of their best stars that they have right now.
Rhea versus Bianca.
I think they're doing that. WrestleMania 40. They're both going to hold the titles till then. I think
would be an incredible match, and that could legitimately main event a night. I think Rhea. I'm surprised it took them this long to put it on her, but I'm glad that it did happen.
It worked.
They built it to Mania, and she's a heel in a heel faction that everybody boos, and the fans just ate it up when she won the title.
Yeah. Yep.
And to Charlotte's credit, a very reliable, dependable champ to hand it to her.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I got to cut off this podcast real quick to tell everyone about HelloFresh, one of our favorite sponsors here in the basement. HelloFresh takes the hassle out of mealtime this spring by delivering pre-portioned ingredients and easy-to-prepare recipes right to your door. Skip the checkout lines and get outside in the warmer weather this summer because HelloFresh has dinner covered, all right? It's not going to take a long time to cook dinner this summer, this spring, this fall, this winter, because once you sign up for HelloFresh, you're going to have this for the rest of your life. April is Earth Month, and HelloFresh is always committed to a cleaner planet. On average, HelloFresh meals have a 31% lower carbon footprint than the same meals from supermarket ingredients. So you know you're doing the planet good as well by going with HelloFresh. Good food is just too precious to waste. HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients cut down on your food waste as well by at least 23% compared to grocery shopping. It's way cheaper than grocery shopping, I've been telling you that. And their meals are so easy to make. They're quick and easy options. You can make them in under 15 minutes. It's amazing for someone on the go with a busy job. HelloFresh is going to be your friend this spring, this summer. Go to HelloFresh.com/Fox50, Fox50, and use that same promo code Fox50 for 50% off. Plus, your first box ships for free. This stuff is amazing. I'm telling you, once you taste it, once you realize how easy it is to make yourself in the kitchen, you're going to want this forever. You're never going to want to not have HelloFresh meals at the ready. It's America's #1 meal kit for a reason. Go to HelloFresh.com/Fox50 now. The main event, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeat the Usos, finally completing the Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline story. I don't know if completing actually is the right word, because I could see them coming back to that at some point.
Depends on who's booking it, brother.
Depends on who's booking it. But this was the happy ending for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in this whole saga. And some of my favorite matches in the history of wrestling in my opinion, encapsulate the whole feud, and that's what this did. It was mostly Kevin is not in the picture. Sami Zayn is being put down, but he kicks out at every single turn. Every time they try to pin him, he's kicking out and he's fighting back. When Sami Zayn gets Kevin Owens to even the odds, they go toe-to-toe, and then eventually they take over, get the win. They did that emotional, almost battleground-like finish. Uso. He pins Jay with the multiple haluva kicks. Everyone is crying at the end. This is the kind of WrestleMania main event that sent me to bed on a high. I didn't want to go to sleep after this.
No,
I wanted to rewatch it. I wanted to read all the Reddit posts, watch their post-fight presser, all of it. This was everything I wanted.
The reason Night 1 will live forever is because it ended the way gigantic events should end.
Yes.
With happiness, joy, celebration, comeuppance,
tears,
all of that, everything that you can write in a wrestling storyline. And let's give them credit, because you want to shit on them at every, people want to shit on them at every turn. The Bloodline story has been the best story they've told, and it's one of their greatest stories of all time.
Do people shit on the Bloodline?
No, they don't. But we will shit on the ending of the next night in a minute.
Sure.
So let's give them credit for sticking the landing on this one.
Yes.
Because when Sami Zayn didn't win the title in February,
thank you. Okay.
It was like, okay, all right, I kind of want him to win the title, but give him the tag match at Mania, and that he'll end the story with Jey Uso. And the way they did it, the 3 haluva kicks, him holding Jey up and staring, looking him in the eyes, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Sammy's inclusion in the Bloodline storyline, if it was the Oscars, he would win Best Supporting Actor in a landslide. He would get every vote. He was so necessary to that storyline.
Yeah.
And that put him in the main event talk, and he had the match, and we all wanted him to win that match so bad, and we understood why he didn't. And now we can go back to the whole Cody thing, et cetera, et cetera. But we understood why Sammy didn't win. He tags with KO. They have this 25-year history together. They get their Mania moment. 2 things I want a little pushback on you. Not push back, but get your thoughts on.
I'll hit you in the face.
Should Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, who are, they've been in the industry forever. They've given their bodies to the industry, et cetera, et cetera. Should their WrestleMania moment be winning a tag team belt, or do you think they will... Sami Zayn, he doesn't have the look. He doesn't have, the type that Vince wants, et cetera. Should he get a title run again and have a title WrestleMania moment, or was this the peak of what they'll get?
I'd like to answer that. Okay. I believe if he gets a title reign later, fine, whatever. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe this isn't the peak, and maybe it builds to something bigger. But if this was the peak, it's one hell of a peak.
Okay.
Because this guy and Kevin Owens go back, and Kevin Owens. Yeah. I mean, what did it mean to you to watch these 2 guys standing in the middle of a ring with 80,000 people crying because they won and fireworks going off? Like, is it just the tag team title? Yeah, sure, it's just the tag team title. That's not a small thing. And it's more the fact that these 2 best friends went through hell and fire and brimstone to get here, and they got to the top of the industry together.
And I'm not.
And that's a peak.
I'm not shitting on that. I was just trying to devil's advocate a little bit there. Where
could Sami Zayn have main evented this and won the title on his own? Yes. You had 2 diverging paths, and I think the end of both paths were pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And so now. It's so sick. My first thought was, I can't wait for KO to turn on Sammy.
It'll happen at some point.
I absolutely cannot wait.
What if it's the opposite?
I want Sami Zayn to turn on KO.
What if they finally flip the script? Yeah.
We know something will happen, and they are 2 of the best workers, and they have all the chemistry, and they put on the best matches. If Roman walks away or whatever they're doing, and we stop caring about Cody versus Lesnar right now, KO and Sammy are the main eventers to me right now.
I mean, I could write you a story of Sami Zayn winning the 2024 Royal Rumble and winning the title at WrestleMania 40. I could also write you a story of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a bloodbath to end all bloodbaths at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, something like that.
Those and they're such good, because I want to believe both of them were involved in the storytelling and involved in the process. They're such good storytellers that they'll get it to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
I loved the gear as well. I wanted to shout out Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens wearing the PWG logo on their gear. I thought that was an awesome touch.
I want to shout out 2 other guys.
Oh.
I think the Usos might be the greatest tag team in the history of the business.
They're up there. I really think they're top 5 without a doubt.
I said it, and people people want to love the teams back in the day. What about Hart Foundation?
The
they were together
TLC
3
teams,
fucking years.
yeah.
Okay, like the Usos for 10 years have been great.
Yeah.
And they, as much as Sami Zayn put himself. As much as he put himself in this main event, he doesn't do it if Jey Uso doesn't act his ass off in the storyline. He doesn't do it if Jimmy Uso doesn't act his ass off. Like, they were just as key to this storyline as Sami Zayn was.
You know what stops them for me from being the best of all time is, I mean, the storyline and everything aside, what is their TLC match? What is their, like, that moment, the Edge spear and the Hardys diving off everything?
I think they just main evented WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You can take 3 or 4 of their New Day matches
The Hell in a Cell match.
and it
So
lines up with.
Is that because, I mean, I would put New Day over Usos.
I would have before this whole thing, before this
Yeah.
feud. Jay and Jimmy Uso have been apart. And you can say Roman Reigns, they've been a part of the most important storyline in wrestling for 2 years.
I was going to say
2 years.
Yeah. And they started it.
but-
Jay
yeah.
and Roman was the start of the
But
Bloodline head of the table.
Roman is the catalyst here.
Jay was kind of the
Jay
catalyst.
was the catalyst.
I understand, but the story revolves around Roman.
Yeah.
I know you're going
The
to go.
story ain't over because they got pushed out of Raw last night. So
I know you're going to get deeper about it,
I
and
know.
I can see the psychological wheels in your brain churning. I get it, but for me, I need a gift that lives in infamy.
Think about this, Nate. Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy.
Devon and Bubba
The
Ray.
Dudleys. The Hart Foundation. The Road Warriors.
Scotty Too Hottie and Grandmaster Sexay.
You tell me a period in wrestling where any of those teams were part of the biggest story in wrestling for 2 years.
Yeah, no.
You cannot do it.
There ain't one.
None of them main evented WrestleMania as their teams.
Nope.
When-
You can't do it.
I was going to make another.
Even TLC, when it happened at WrestleMania 16 and 17, were part of the card. They weren't the focus.
Can
of
I
the
say
card.
this though? That is one of the most famous matches
It
in
is.
WWE
Oh, of course.
history.
It deserves to be.
I think
Yeah.
this one will live. It won't be in the opening like the Edge spearing Jeff Hardy 15 feet above the ring. That's crazy. But this in 10 years will be. Remember that time the Usos.
Is it the first tag team WrestleMania main event since the first one?
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty big.
I'm not trying to discredit what they've done. I need a moment.
All right, fair enough.
I feel like the moment just happened.
I think the moment might have just happened as well, and
But
I think
it
we might even have a moment in the future.
It might
where
not have.
They might be the people that cause Roman to lose the title.
There's a chance. There's a chance.
Unless
and not-
Solo has to
and
give him a thumbs up real
There's
quick.
not a small chance.
Jay's gonna give him the thumbs down.
There's not a small chance that Jey Uso is the man that ends the Roman
There's a
dynasty.
chance. There's a chance he's the guy.
I would say he's the favorite in the clubhouse at this point.
No, Cody's still the favorite.
You think Cody's the favorite? I think Jey
Cody's,
is.
I think Cody's still the favorite.
If it was Cody, it could have been Cody now.
I know, but they're just gonna make us wait another year for Cody at 40.
Do you guys not know who's running the show? Omos is far and away the favorite right now. I'm like, am I the only
speaking of
one
him-
paying attention?
Speaking of him, we got 20 minutes before you got to do the ready to rumble.
It's just Clemmer, man. Don't worry
So
about it.
so let's get into night 2.
Facts.
Brock Lesnar versus Omos kicks the show off, and I called this, by the way. As soon as I saw that this wasn't obviously headlining, I was like, all right, this is kicking the show off because Brock wants to get the fuck home as soon as possible. 4 minutes, and it was 4 minutes of fun. We got to see Brock thrown around like a baby, which never happens.
Yeah.
And then we got to see Brock throw Omos around like he was that shark from the SummerSlam
You know,
commercial.
it was fine, but at this point, what's Omos going to be? What do you think? I mean, is this peak for him? Like what he just?
Yeah, I think this is the peak for him. I like him too, but
I like him, but he probably needs to be the heavy in a tag team.
yes, I think you're right about that. Yeah.
He probably needs to be that, or shit-eating heels backup.
Yeah. He did his part well in this match.
He did fine.
Yeah.
He did fine. And Brock doesn't get enough credit for when he'll sell his ass off.
That's what Nate texted me during the show.
Yeah.
He goes, "You're paying me? I'll sell. I don't care."
He'll get thrown around just like anybody else will. So
he sold all the way to the back. I thought he had a fucking hernia. His face was purple by the end of the match.
yeah, it was for what it was. It was good.
Yeah,
it was a good
I
start.
thought it was a better opener than Austin Theory and Cena. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that as
It
well.
was.
And the pop Brock got when his music hit was gigantic.
Huge. I mean, that is one of the greatest opening theme sounds ever.
Yeah.
And seeing Brock is one of those things that he has an aura about him. He's cool.
Yeah.
That is seeing him with Omos too is like
Yeah.
Babyface Brock, different.
And I mean, dude, that guy is every pound of 450 pounds, 7 feet tall. When he played video games in game time, he was just a massive human being.
I mentioned this in my blog. One of my favorite moments ever was going to the SummerSlam after party.
Yeah.
Walking onto the balcony. First people I saw was Glenny Balls and Omos talking. I walked over. I was like, "What are you guys talking about?"
I think I'd gone home by then.
Yeah, he's like, Omos is telling me about getting into wrestling from college basketball and stuff.
Yeah, played at what, Howard? Or
I don't know where he played.
he hangs out at the Columbia Mall in Columbia, Maryland.
Does he?
Yeah.
First weird decision of the night. Rhonda and Shayna Baszler win the WrestleMania Tag Team Showcase.
Can we skip over this? Fuck Rhonda. She is worthless to this company.
What's weird about that decision?
Ugh,
Why
God.
do you put them over in that match?
Why, Brandon?
What
they're
were your
strong,
alternatives?
like-
What were your alternatives?
The baddest woman
Liv
on the
and
planet.
Raquel. Liv and Raquel were right there.
Yes, Liv's
they were
right
the
there.
most exciting. They're
I
the
also
fan
love
favorites.
Chelsea. Chelsea's one of my favorites.
Chelsea, you could have put Chelsea over.
Yeah.
I would have put Chelsea over
But then
Rhonda and
Sonya
Shayna.
Deville's not. You putting Sonya Deville over? Like Chelsea, yeah, but
I wish this match was like Chelsea versus Liv versus Raquel versus Io
that's
and
better.
Shirai.
That's better.
I wish it was a fatal four-way like
Yeah.
that.
that's better.
Rhonda stopped being cool 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and they're still doing this thing.
Shayna's got a lot of potential.
She doesn't like the
A
business.
lot of potential?
Don't you think Shayna
What are
does?
you
She's
talking
been on the main
about?
roster for how many years now?
Get angry.
Shayna? Y'all don't think Shayna has a
talking
lot
about
of
I
Rhonda.
think she was great. She was great in NXT. At this point, she's been on the main roster for, what, 4 or 5 years?
Well, hell, so is Rhea Ripley. She just got her moment. I think Shayna can still be a star for
Shayna
them.
hasn't been climbing like Rhea, though. Shayna's been baselined.
I mean, it's a scripted event. I just think I think
Mr.
Shayna.
Wrestling's
Mr.
fake
Wrestling's
over
fake
here.
over here. What the fuck?
I think Shayna's
Wrestling's
got.
fake.
I think Shayna's got more to offer than y'all are giving her credit for.
I have nothing bad to say about her. I want to yell about Ronda Rousey some more.
Go ahead.
She's not cool. She hasn't been relevant in the world
Doesn't
in
it
a,
draw?
She doesn't seem happy doing
in a
it.
decade. She doesn't like the industry. She openly talks shit about the industry, and then they trot her out there as if she is the female version of Brock Lesnar, and she's nowhere even close to that stratosphere of wrestler draw.
But
or
I think you
anything.
can still use her to make somebody else.
She's not a draw.
I
though.
don't think you can.
You
don't
can't.
think so?
No,
I don't think
she's
no.
wallpaper, dude.
Liv went over her, and I don't know if it made Liv.
It didn't.
And I
Why,
love Liv,
why
but
y'all ganging up on me? Just relax.
Bro, you just said wrestling's fake.
You
No, I didn't.
You did.
Basically did.
I'm saying, y'all. I think y'all are being harsh on Shayna.
Rhonda
Shayna,
is not
I'm okay
a
with.
career maker or a draw or someone who.
You can heat Rhonda up to make her a career maker in 5 minutes.
Did you?
I don't think you
No,
can.
you can't.
I don't
Really?
think you can.
Dude, she lost in UFC when I still lived in Virginia. That was 8 years ago.
Yeah, but she main evented WrestleMania after that.
Cool.
She did, but like people don't look back at that like it's like an amazing moment like they talk about
I didn't
it as.
realize you two hated Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
Shayna,
I don't hate Shayna.
Ronda,
You're Ronda
I'm
haters.
over. Ronda, I'm over completely.
Her name is
I think it's
Rhonda.
a failed experiment.
Happy birthday, Chelsea Green, today.
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy
Chelsea.
birthday, Chelsea
Oh,
Green.
from the wrestling podcast.
Oh, let me text her that.
Was she the
Text her.
co-host?
We tested her out as the wrestling co-host a couple times. And
He cut her.
She wanted. I tried to get her hired by Gaz, but I don't think she would hook up with
It was
him.
like
so she didn't.
Succession.
Jesus Christ.
So she said no.
Cardona's going to come to kick somebody's ass for that comment.
I hope it's Gaz.
Let's talk about another 10 out of 10. 5-star, 6-star, 7-star, 8-star, 9-star, 9.25
Talking
star.
about Trish again?
Wherever Meltzer's up to. Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew
Every
McIntyre.
star that's available.
This was, I called it one of the best Intercontinental Championship matches WrestleMania has ever seen, the best in decades.
I would say best Intercontinental Championship, one of the best
Don't say ever,
Intercontinental
don't say ever.
Championship. I would say one of the best Intercontinental
One of.
Championships ever. I would say there's 3:
WrestleMania 3.
Savage Steamboat,
Yep.
Bulldog Brett at SummerSlam,
Yeah.
and then this one. Give me
Wow.
one give me one I'm missing.
WrestleMania 8.
Pretty good, but I think this was better.
What was that Zack
Yeah.
Ryder one I saw? The ladder match.
WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, that's fine.
That was fun. Like the WrestleMania
Sean
31.
Jarrett had a 5-star classic, but as far as ladder match at 10. Ladder match at 10 should be there too. Yeah,
That's
ladder
number
match.
one. That's number one.
I got Savage Steamboat at 1, but I'm fine. I would go.
I would just flip those.
I would
put
go 1 Savage
Steamboat
Steamboat, 2 ladder match at 10, and then 3 Brett Bulldog, and then I would have
Yes.
no problem slotting this one in at 4.
I'm okay with that as
We
well.
all are in agreement when it's big burly men beating the shit out of each other.
Slapping meat.
No gimmicks, no nothing, just wrestling. Nothing can beat that.
No, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like these guys beat the fuck out of each other for 20 minutes.
I know we got to go soon, but I want to talk about all 3 of these guys individually.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I wouldn't have given you a nickel for Sheamus or his future. I thought he was fine. He's a guy.
Mohawk Sheamus when
He's-
they're chanting, "You look stupid."
He's a guy. The bar. I didn't really. Whatever. This guy's reinvigorated himself.
Oh yeah,
As
the crowd
just-
want him to win.
As just this ass-kicking dude that just wants to fight. Drew McIntyre 10 years ago, we all know his story that he came up. But Drew McIntyre is every bit the potential that they thought he would be 15 years ago.
Yep.
And this motherfucker, Gunther. This motherfucker,
if you
Gunther.
could be named Gunther and get the crowd over, you are doing
This
something
motherfucker,
right.
Gunther.
Gunther.
He is as legit gets. I just think whoever had the idea to put these three together knew what the fuck they were doing.
Oh yeah, I mean they took the Clash at the Castle match, which was match of the year material,
and
they
added Drew
McIntyre.
Yeah, and they went for it. You could tell early.
Drew's like over the top rope dive in this match.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But you could tell early on that they had probably decided, hey, we're just gonna go.
We're gonna
just
whoop
gonna
the
go
fuck
for it
out of each other.
And because Sheamus hit Drew with the thing 27 times
Until he fell.
and then I think Drew fell out of it, and I think Sheamus hit him on the face on the way down.
Yeah,
like they made the chops. You
Gunther's chops are insane.
There's chops that you can hear hit the skin and it slaps, but sometimes you can hear it hit the meat and the bone.
thud,
You hear that thud.
Yeah.
And you were hearing thuds on these chops.
And I think the right guy won here too. I know the crowd wanted Sheamus. I like Gunther getting the WrestleMania moment. Gunther had some of my favorite gear in WrestleMania too. That navy and white, it was sick.
One of the rare matches, triple threat matches, where I would have been fine any of the three winning.
Agreed.
But I'm glad Gunther won. I think there's a lot of story to tell with him. I also like his Imperium, the tag team with him. I like the
him
whole
too. The
presentation.
introduction when they like announce him.
I like
in.
that skinny guy. I don't know what his name is. I like him a lot.
The way they go like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Poor Cesaro sitting somewhere wondering what
He's
could
the
have
Ring
been.
of Honor
Guy's
champ.
got a big dick too.
Yeah, well, what's that get you?
I don't know. Bianca
Tony Khan's
Belair.
phone number these days.
True. Bianca Belair defeats Asuka. A match that I thought would be amazing, and then once again lived up to the hype for me. Bianca, I said, might be turning into Mrs. WrestleMania.
And that's what they're going for. And it's 2 years ago she beats Sasha in a terrific match.
Yep.
Last year she beats Becky in a terrific match. She can't have bad matches at WrestleMania.
No,
First,
this might have been the best of the three. The Sasha one was really amazing because the environment, the atmosphere.
the only shame of it is I don't think it's quite as epic as Rhea Charlotte was.
It wasn't.
Oh, I liked it better.
You liked it better.
I liked this one better.
I thought the epicness of the moment felt bigger in that one. Maybe it's because a new champion was winning.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagree. I loved the finish of this. The strong, like slow power up and then hit the KOD.
Well, the mist and then her looking at her like, I know the fuck you didn't. I listen. Bianca is one of those rare. When she was in that NXT, I don't think anybody said, "Wow, this is going to be the one."
I don't know. People did. I think people did.
She never hit the stardom level. Once she got to the main roster, she took off.
Yeah.
I didn't see her being 3-time women's champion at WrestleMania good.
No, that's a good point.
Especially because she was going into a WWE that already had Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha. Everybody was already there.
Yeah, and she's not just the ponytail girl anymore. You
No.
know, when she came up, she whips people
Oh,
with her
it was
hair.
just waving everywhere, dude.
Yeah, and
She
now
turned
it's
She
more
turned
than that.
babyface. She was a heel in NXT. I think when she went babyface is when it
She's a
all
natural
turned-
babyface.
she's a
Just
natural
people
baby.
love her.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just want to point out the entrance with the Harlem, not the Harlem,
kids.
the kids from Compton, the Compton Angels maybe, but the dancers and the story that they told of the main dancer that lost her mom.
saddest
What an
thing in the
incredible
world.
story that day. But WWE is a special organization that can really be a light for people like that. Right?
Oh, the John Cena entrance with the Make-A-Wish. And
I
then,
liked that.
Then they all watched
That
him get
warmed my
pinned.
heart.
But then they all
No,
watched
they
him
were
get
gone by
pinned.
then. They were gone by then.
Listen, we're discussing WrestleMania today, and WrestleMania is powered by C4 Ultimate Energy. I love this stuff. I truly do. I've got the Arctic Snow Cone right here. I think it's the best flavor. 300 milligrams of caffeine. C4 Ultimate Energy will fuel you up to get the energy to get hype, whether it's for gearing up for a night out, pulling an all-nighter, if you're trying to play the new WWE video game all night, get some of this in there. C4. It is so good. Zero sugar, the ultimate. I love. It keeps cutting-edge ingredients like brainberry and clinically studied cognizin that helps improve your focus, keeping you ready to execute that perfect finisher. See what they did there? A little wrestling reference for you. So if you want to get that undisputed heavyweight energy, grab a can of C4 Ultimate. I've got a couple here. I'm stocked up to myself. And get ready to unleash your inner champion. Whether you're battling it out in the ring or crushing your goals outside of it, C4 has got your back. Get hyped and get fueled with C4 Ultimate Energy. They want me to ask the audience. This is a great question. I'm glad C4 actually threw this in there. What was your favorite WrestleMania moment? This year, I want to know in the comments below. I want to know in the reviews on iTunes. If you're listening to this on the podcast feed, did you have a favorite moment brought to you by C4 Ultimate Energy this year? Let me know and get yourself some C4. Go to 7-Eleven or go to c4energy.com and purchase yours in all 4 flavors. I recommend this one right here, Arctic Snow Cone. That's my favorite. That's the My Mom's Basement flavor. Snoop Dogg defeats The Miz in an impromptu match after Shane McMahon tears his quad, blows everything in his leg out. Shane McMahon's music hits. The crowd is always going to pop for Here Comes the Money, but if that music never hit ever again, I'd be fine with it. I'm over Shane McMahon, Shane O'Mac. If he's not diving off the Hell in a Cell, stay at home, Shane.
I think that might have been Shane O'Mac's last gasp.
I hope it was. And then Snoop comes out. He hits the greatest people's elbow in the history of the people's elbow.
Well, one thing about Shane, the second his quad tore is when this WrestleMania changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think everything after this is like different than everything before? It's like
Yeah.
his quad was holding the whole thing together.
It was like a
And then the
butterfly
next match was kind of a train wreck.
Right? I mean, it's just
A man's quad tears in
Yeah.
L.A. and then a tidal
His
wave
quad is the
happens.
only thing holding everything
Yeah.
together.
and again, back to Snoop. Snoop did his job. I don't know what they paid him. They could have doubled it, and he'd have been worth it.
He really clocked the Miz with that first punch.
So what I think was, I don't know that he ever learned how to gimmick punches.
Maybe not.
I
He
think
punched him in the face.
I think Miz just says, "Punch me,"
Yeah.
and because the second one's pretty slick
Second
too.
one was, and then
he
the
punched
referee,
him.
apparently, Jessica Carr, apparently
Yeah.
was the one to go, people's elbow, people's elbow.
He punched him.
Yeah.
My thought on that is I think Shane was supposed to probably go 5 minutes, and then Snoop
Yeah.
was going to do people's elbow. So it's not like he improvised the people's
Yeah.
elbow. She was just like, get back in
We're
here,
doing
Snoop,
it
real
now.
quick, right
But
now, right now,
he
right now.
did. He made it look seamless.
without a doubt.
seamless. There were people arguing with me that was supposed to happen.
Oh, God,
Which
no.
is when you see the videos of Shane backstage like hobbling on his one leg. I don't think that was supposed to happen, guys. I don't think you could fake an ACL tear, quad tear like
Vince
that.
calls him. He goes, son, I've always hated you.
I'm so proud of you,
We're going to
son."
have one more moment at Mania.
God
and then
damn it! I'm proud of you.
That's it. Like him tearing his quad just like daddy before.
Vince backstage. Well, he's a McMahon now. God damn it!
Finally.
I wouldn't have sold if I knew he was going to tear his quad.
Edge,
Wait, you're making me nervous. How much longer can you be in here?
I'm fine.
Okay.
We'll go a couple minutes.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm going to put my legs up like you guys.
Edge and Demon Balor in the Hell in a Cell. I wish it got a little darker before their entrances because
Yeah.
they both had the Hot Topic entrances for this one. I also wish Edge didn't go over Demon Balor. I'm very confused about the thought process of let's bring him back. I get it's WrestleMania. and
This
stuff.
was the first time in this entire 2-day show where I was like, I think the wrong person won.
Yeah, and
Correct.
the match also suffered from the cut that Balor got, which
Well,
was a gnarly
14
cut.
staples.
Let's take it bullet point by bullet point. The entrances, I felt like I tweeted this. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's funny.
they started brainstorming ideas for the entrances and didn't throw anything out.
They used everyone.
They used every single one of them.
they had
Disco
a-
ball mask.
they had a whiteboard like you can do this, and this, and then he took the marker and he just circled it.
I will do all of this.
The wings, the fire.
I got bat wings. I got a disco mask.
3 different entrance songs.
I got songs. Can I have Slayer? Yeah, goddamn right you
Is
can have Slayer.
Gangrel here? Can we get him out here?
Like,
Brood, yeah.
Edge did everything. Finn Balor, it was great entrances, great. But the problem was, if that was a match in a ring and his head busts open and they stop it and do it doesn't really change the flow that much.
But
it's Hell in a Cell that is supposed to be the most dangerous environment. It's supposed to happen like that. It's supposed to. And I understand you had to medically because that was a hell of a cut. But the fact that they stopped a Hell in the Cell match to administer medical, work,
Attention to the demon.
right to the demon, kind of took you out of the whole thing.
Who tried to murder Edge and his wife.
Yeah.
And now they're like, Edge, back off, he might have a fucking boo-boo.
And Edge is like, all right, I'll just
He's
go
like,
over here and look
"I'll-
for some chairs.
I'll go grab 7 more pixie stick kendo sticks that are painted purple
Why
for some
did
reason.
they paint the chairs?
Why'd
and
they
tables?
paint all the fucking weapons for this match? Whose idea was that?
The
And why
table
did it
was
get
purple.
approved?
Well, I don't know.
That came off like a Vince idea.
Oh, without a doubt.
That's a Vince.
It reminded
said,
me-
To
"Well,
me,
you need a
that's
Hell in a
it.
Cell."
To me, that
did-
was an Edge. Edge. It seems like Edge was like, "Hey, I just want a purple table one time."
Edge, can I say this too? I love Edge. One of
Yeah.
my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
Since he's come back, his acting has gotten dramatically worse.
Well, his facial expressions were always a lot, right?
There are a lot, but now it's like he's like every scene he's like acting. I'm acting.
Yeah,
acting.
I-
Send me
I
acting.
agree.
Yeah. I'm over the Edge.
Bob, do that again.
overacting.
That is
That's
what
the
that is
thumbnail
all
look.
he does.
Yeah. And so they stop it. Then they go with the demon losing, Why bring the Demon back if he's going to lose after the faulty turnbuckle beat him last time?
Yeah,
The Demon doesn't mean much anymore.
Nothing.
No, it doesn't. It's almost like just it's a prop now. It's
Now
like
it's just
it's
he-
Mania, so let's paint him up.
That's the goofy guy who puts paint on.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
It was like when they put Bray Wyatt in the God, what was that match? It was
but the
the neon glow stick match. It was
but
like
the
the
demon
Mountain Dew
itself.
match.
yeah, like
The demon itself isn't it a hard character to keep going back to because like
I don't think it is.
if he wins the title, doesn't he have to be the demon every match?
But you could keep him out of the title picture.
He's
But
a
why-
baby face because the demon needs to be a baby face. He can't be the heel.
But if he's got
Yeah,
a demon
that'd
in
be a
him,
good
why
point.
would he ever not be the demon? Tell me
No,
that.
that's
Because
a
he
good
needs
point,
to
too.
he needs
could
to
only
channel the
channel it.
demon.
Yeah, he could only channel it once in a while. It takes a lot out of him.
Dude, you need to channel the demon for the big matches. But
know?
if the demon can't win a
well,
match,
don't channel him anymore
Why,
because
like,
he's a
why
loser.
would
But
Paul Bearer just
the
hold up
demon's
the
a
urn
loser.
the whole match?
The demon's a loser. Don't channel him
the
anymore.
whole thing,
Yeah,
I'm
yes,
agreeing
he
with
is.
you, is like, so now the demon loses to 49-year-old Edge.
That's tough.
What do we care now? So what should have happened, obviously, is Finn Balor should have lost to Edge, and then in the rematch,
At
he
SummerSlam.
channels the demon, and he wins.
Let me tell you something I'm over a little bit. I think the Hell in the Cell's time is probably come and gone.
Yes.
Well, they
a point.
really the pay-per-view kind of killed it.
It killed it, but
Yes,
like
correct.
I was watching the other day and I'm like, I'd really just like to see this better.
So, Brandon,
I'd
as a-
really like just to see this. If I could just see this more clearly, I'd
Edge had to yell at a cameraman too. He's like, "Get out
get,
of my
get
way!"
out of the way.
as a child growing up watching wrestling, when they did like the one Hell in a Cell every year and a half, 2 years, I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes it went longer, but then I looked it up on Wikipedia and it never went 3, but it felt like it.
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit, stuff is about
Yeah.
to go down. And then they made Hell in a Cell a pay-per-view, and there were times in those pay-per-views when the cell wasn't even utilized. It was just it made no sense.
There's some Hell in a Cell matches.
And
like
then
you
they
said,
let women wrestle in it, and it was like voting. Like, who wants to do that anymore now that women can do it?
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell should go away for 2 years
agree.
until like someone's ready to fall through that motherfucker.
I just realized something. I'm going to use this show and my appearances to say the things that I could get canceled for.
You can. I would love that. I
was
think that
just
would be
saying.
good for the
No,
show.
we've been thinking about we need on the podcast nobody listens to, Cracking Aces.
Yeah.
We need to mean girl it up a little
I
bit.
thought it was
together.
cracking asses.
No, that's the one I do with my dad. So on Cracking Aces, not to be confused with Cracking Asses, we need someone to come on and just have takes. So
Okay.
might have to just have
Just
you
write
on.
down my cancelable take.
Yeah,
Let me tell
yeah.
you about Charlotte.
The main event, night 2, finally. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. How sure were you guys going into the main event that Cody was walking out champ?
I was 75% sure.
Really? I was 95%
Were you?
sure. What about you? I mean, you texted me. You said you would respect it if Roman Reigns walked out.
So our old friend Schmarriage Schmabis,
Yeah.
you don't have to edit that out. Could be anybody.
Could be anybody.
He's a huge Reigns guy, and I always love a good zig when you think they're gonna zag. I always love rooting for the heel, and I was convinced until the week of that Reigns was gonna win. LOL. Not even like LOL Reigns wins, more like Reigns wins because he's the baddest dude on earth.
Yeah.
And then I bought into Cody. I was like, this isn't. I hate fake pushes. I love organic. Build yourself up like how Daniel Bryan did it, and then like how Sammy did it.
Yeah.
And I said they didn't let Sammy win because Cody is gonna win. I've bought into this. This makes sense. The rehab videos, the montages. He is a face that I'm buying, and it takes me a lot to buy into stuff like that
Yeah.
because they write who they want to be the face, and that's what Vince does. And I bought it hook, line, and sinker. And I went in and I said, you know what, this makes sense. Cody, you're my guy.
But that's where it was kind of well written, right? Because this was the convergence of two immaculately written stories. It was a convergence of the Bloodline, which has dominated wrestling for 3 years. And when the Usos lost, it did make sense for Reigns to win and then come back to the Usos and like, you guys blew it. And
Kind of, but it makes more sense for the bloodline to start crumbling
discre-
altogether.
on the other side, it made sense for Cody, who went to AEW and went through all these struggles in his career and then got hurt when he came back to do it for his dad and do it. Like, both made sense to me.
Dude,
Yeah.
how hysterical is Vince, though? Man, you're going to be number 30 in the Rumble. You're going to win it. You're going to be the biggest face in this company. double middle finger. Fuck
But
you,
we
Cody.
don't know that he isn't going to win it next year.
Doesn't matter.
I still think he is. That's what almost frustrates me more about this, is that I don't know if he's going to be as hot and as over as he was.
It would
this
be
year,
almost
next year.
impossible.
It would be almost
Because
impossible.
how do you ask the
can't.
fans to invest in somebody twice?
You can't. And some people are saying he didn't face enough adversity. He's got to face the adversity. He's got to get the loss.
He had
and
a
it'll feel
he
sweeter.
tore his pec.
Exactly, he's tore his pec, and
He's-
let's not act like this is 1995 and wrestling fans don't watch other companies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We saw him go start the WWE's competition.
Yeah.
That is enough
And
adversity.
That's how we should have known. That should have been. We should have known all along. and
Maybe.
we were idiots for not seeing
Maybe.
it.
Let's
Get
coming.
give
punished.
credit where it's due, though, because I just told you going into Sunday, I thought there was a real chance Roman Reigns could win. But when they got in that ring and they started telling the story and Cody kept doing the babyface comebacks and fighting through everything,
Yep.
and again, they had me in that 30 to 45 minutes there in the ring dying. I didn't know earlier that day, but that 45 minutes I was dying for Cody Rhodes to win.
Me too.
I needed that feeling.
crowd was too.
The
Listen to
crowd, they sucked us in.
Yeah.
They sucked us in, and Cody had me convinced he's ending
And-
the story tonight. And then they didn't, and they took that moment away from me and you, and it's like
For what?
it took my breath away.
And you know what? I have a pretty good gauge of when wrestling comes into the mainstream.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan still, since my time working on the internet, has been more mainstream than anybody. This storyline, and just based on what I see, people were buying in and saying, what is everybody talking about? What is this Cody Rhodes thing? Roman Reigns is a bona fide superstar now. I need to see this. And then they popped the balloon. They said no.
And you've already said it, but when I wanted Sami Zayn to beat him in February. I
Yeah.
thought it was a great ending to the Sami Zayn story.
But at least we got
when he
we
lost,
understood.
and everybody said, just wait. They did it because Cody's the biggest. It's Cody's to win.
Yes.
Cody. And I was like, I don't like that. And then over the next 6 weeks, I came to like
Exactly.
it. And in that 45 minutes, I needed it badly. My big thing is the end of WrestleMania used to mean something. It used to mean the most. You ended stories at WrestleMania. You did. You ended it with Hogan slamming Andre. You ended it with Austin. You ended it with Shawn and the Boyhood Dream. Imagine if the Boyhood Dream and Brett small packages him in overtime.
Exactly.
Like for 3 years now, WrestleMania 37, 38, and 39, it has ended the same way with Roman walking out doing this. What more do you need to do to build Roman Reigns? You've got him. He's there. Why?
And you know what?
Why did this happen?
They even did it correctly, kicking Solo to backstage, like, get out of here.
Yeah.
This is man versus man. Are we not even talking about how the pivotal person in this match is the most forgettable, non-existent person of the entire storyline altogether?
Solo?
Yeah. He was inconsequential to me. They could have done it without him. They have enough
I think
Roman
he-
Reigns running around that they could have done it
I
without
think he's
him.
got a chance to be something special.
I think he's got a chance.
But
to
did
be
it?
huge.
Did it have to? I agree. Did it have to be now? Did
No.
it have to be
No, it didn't.
now?
And I don't
and
like the
people
way they
telling
did
me
it,
on
too.
Twitter, oh well, they want to have the tag matches and this and that. Guess what? You can do the same damn tag matches, but Brandon, you said it best. Take the moment. Take it.
Yeah.
It's there. Take the moment.
Wrestling is about moments. They had a chance in February. They had a chance the other night. They punted both times. If you're not going to give it to me, why the fuck am I going to keep
And
coming back?
for what? Is it for the accolade of Roman Reigns having 1,000 days? Is
I
that
assume.
why?
What's 1,000 days? Who cares about
cares?
1,000 days?
I
It's a
agree.
made-up number.
I agree.
It doesn't matter.
Well, 1,000 is a real number.
It's not.
But 1,000 doesn't mean any more than 940.
It doesn't. My only thing is they have to know the end. They have to know the end. They have to know who it is. Is it Cody fighting through more adversity? Is it Sammy spending time at the tag team and then coming back and taking Roman down after hurting the Bloodline? Does he kill it later?
Yeah.
Or is it Jay who started the whole thing, ending Roman Reigns? I think that might be
Guys,
I think it might be it, but Jay's not the next face of your company.
that's what
Cody is.
That's what I'm saying.
Cody sells the
And-
merch. Cody's the draw.
They might see Jay as a potential. I don't know.
Is
Okay, so
Jay
here's
ever
my
gonna be as
here's my
over as
question.
Cody?
We bought into Sammy, didn't get the win. We bought into Cody, didn't get the win. Are we gonna beat the football again? Like, are we just gonna swing
No.
and miss again? Are we gonna buy into?
I mean, it's going to be hard to get the fan base to that emotional point. If you keep pulling the football, they're going to stop kicking.
Guys, like, and at the end of the day, I truly believe this is Vince saying, you started our competition, fuck you.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So Cody Rhodes, if he did win, is there any fear that they would have turned on him early? Like,
I don't think so.
So by SummerSlam, you don't
Well,
think the fans
no,
are trying to turn on his like cheesy.
I don't think
When
so.
he was
stuff?
getting destroyed by Brock last night, it wasn't exactly the crowd going, "Oh my God, please don't let this happen." No. They were kind of saying, they were chanting one more time. That happened.
See, that did happen. That
But
was the Raw After Mania crowd.
That's also Brock.
It's Brock.
It's Brock.
I also think WWE, more than AEW, and Cody especially has talked about this, has the family audience who are less likely to turn on someone like that, the kid audience. I really think the time for Cody was now. I don't think they'll ever get another opportunity as good to put the title on him as they had at WrestleMania. That hurts me to my fucking core that I believe that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're... And I think to put the title on someone else, you now have to wait until WrestleMania.
You have to. It can't happen at Money in the Bank. It can't happen.
Exactly. So now
at
we're
No
in for
Mercy.
another full year of the Roman Reigns run, which has been great. The Bloodline story's been great.
It's so risky, though, Robbie, because Roman's 37 years old.
Yeah. And
What
he's
if Roman
had
gets-
health issues.
What if Roman gets hurt?
Yeah.
Like, what if Roman gets hurt and you have to strip him? Like, you had a chance twice to make huge stars based on taking the belt off of him. You didn't.
Like the biggest moments since Daniel Bryan. Literally,
It
the
would
two
have
biggest
been
moments. Sami Zayn
in
and Cody Rhodes.
in a month and a half.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is hopefully trust that they can build up a moment like that again, because they did do it twice. But
Yeah.
if they're just kind
And
of,
if anyone's going to do it, it will be Cody with his babyface underdog promos.
And the other guy, Rollins, perhaps do the Shield architect thing again. I
They
don't
built
know.
it up
think
good for the
fans
Rumble.
will ever love Rollins like that. Maybe they will. I don't know.
They bought in for it at the Rumble when he kind of beat Roman by a DQ
Yeah.
and everything.
But it's not. Rollins has had his time at the top. It never felt like what could have accomplished with Cody winning and then his music hitting first thing on Raw and everybody going absolute apeshit.
that pop, if Cody would have pinned Roman, oh my God, it would have been Austin level.
When he hit the crossroads, then he hit another crossroads.
He should have just pinned him right there. Three
And
crossroads.
then when he
done.
grabs me for the third crossroads, and
wish
you
you would've
think,
thought about
this
that,
is
Bob.
it. And I was standing up.
Same.
And as soon as I saw Solo, my heart sank.
I know. And I felt like such a mark. I said to you, like, I literally said to my girlfriend after the match, oh, no, this isn't the way the match is ending. Someone's going to come out and restart the match because Solo got ejected.
Yeah.
So he can't interfere. There's no way this is how WrestleMania is ending. And then it just faded to black. It was over.
Do you ever think, or I don't know if you guys have asked wrestlers this, Cody reads the script. How just disheartening is that?
I think it's disheartening.
It must,
Now, apparently, Meltzer has said that the result has been in for weeks.
I think Cody is a fucking pro, right?
Of course.
And I think Cody is from a wrestling family. And somebody said this on Twitter, but I kind of agree with them. This feels like something Dusty would have booked.
It still
Sort of does.
Dusty kind of would make somebody go through hell in a handbasket. Like Dusty would have things go for years.
that's fine.
And
but
he
it
did that to
doesn't-
himself.
It doesn't mean when you open it and you look at it, your head just doesn't drop. Like, God, I can't believe. Like, Vince, really? Like, really?
I think that's the reaction. More than sadness, I think it's like, really? All right. If that's
gonna
what
do
we're going
it.
to do, we're going to do it. But, like,
Yeah.
I'll have to trust you on that one.
And then
Do you think Roman looked at it and was like, can I just take a fucking break?
I really thought Roman was going to lose here, and we wouldn't see him again until, like, SummerSlam.
Can I just go to Bali for like 6 months? Can I just go?
I want to say something that you're going to have to edit out.
Oh, my God. We are going to bleep that. Yeah, we'll bleep that out.
But so we're all after Mania, and whose music hits besides it's all about me, Triple H. Nothing's gonna change. The company's sold. I
got to say,
angry.
I really like Triple H. I like him, like, being that guy for the fans. I didn't love his promo at Raw After Mania because it was such him saying nothing to me.
Yeah, and he just kept repeating too.
Just kept repeating himself, saying nothing. Shout out Stu, the camera guy, Stu Mania.
I
Shout
got a
out Stu.
smaller thing.
Triple H have equity? Do you think he has?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Triple H
He,
is.
he made out. Okay.
I think yesterday was a hell of a day in the life of Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
So he has it because he's married to Steph. He doesn't. Or
I
does
think he
have
probably
it
has it on his own.
On his
but
own.
Yeah,
On his own,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, again, I think yesterday was a
Imagine.
hell of a day. But him coming out to King of Kings and not the game pisses me off.
No, but
The game is better,
the game is for when he wrestles. This is the King of Kings.
but he's never going to wrestle again, so we're never going to hear the game again.
Maybe not.
It
I like the game better than the King of Kings.
now.
It's a better song for sure.
I said this and I maybe they are hinting at it. Triple H long-term storyline, the game, it's all about the game, how you play it, blah, 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 blah. I think this Cody Rhodes storyline of him losing to Reigns works if you have an authority figure like Triple H or Vince saying, fuck you, Cody, you left us, you deserve nothing based on your family name, you don't deserve
Well, we
to
don't
be
know
in the
that
main
that's
event.
not coming.
So I could buy into and that would be a great redemption arc.
I'd be okay with it
I'm
now,
about
too.
tired of authority angles.
I know.
I was too, but it's been a bit
but
for
at
a
least
mean
it
one.
works. At least you left us to try to bring this company down. We don't need you. I could buy into that.
I'll tell you what. Last night when they kind of looked like they got one over on Heyman and Brock joined Cody at his side to be his partner, I immediately thought, man, give me a couple months of them just being buddies and then let them turn on each other or something like that. I thought that could be funny, that could be good, and then it was gone after, we're going to wrap up in a minute.
Can I tell you what's just walk into a studio. Can I tell you what's bullshit is God, it pisses me off.
It's fine.
So Cody works back from the injury. He does all the promos, Dusty storyline, everything's leading up. He loses the biggest moment on the biggest stage of his entire life. He comes out Raw after Mania, and he's doing jumping jacks and smiling and singing tunes that he gets to tag team with Brock Lesnar.
He was
I'm okay
pissed
with
at
it. He was
first.
pissed. He wanted a rematch.
He was like, rematch. He demanded a rematch. And then he didn't even know, because there was a moment where he didn't know who was coming out to tag with him. He was like, he had this look in his eyes, and then the music hit, and he was like, that's when he got happy.
It was nonsense, dude. He should be angry as he's the American nightmare.
But he's also Superman, dude.
He has a neck tattoo for some reason. He should have been furious. He should have been taking out knives and stabbing Roman Reigns in the face. Instead, he goes, "Ooh, I get to work with Brock Lesnar. That's fun." It was bullshit. And then they do.
And then Brock, oh my God.
I would say then they do Omos versus Elias.
Then they do almost, which I read today on Fightful that wasn't even supposed to happen. Omos didn't have his gear, and he was in catering and was told, you're going out to wrestle next, like, get your gear. Which is a total Vince thing. Vince is back in charge. He apparently ran the show last night. I said it last night the second I saw that Rollins segment. Rollins goes out to have the crowd sing to him. I tweeted, Vince is back in charge. And what did we learn today? Vince is fucking back in charge.
Rollins goes out and sings. They go to a backstage interview. They go back to Rollins, who's still just singing in the middle of the ring. And that
they
was
apparently
it.
told him during commercial, like, hey, sing and get
Does
out
somebody
of there.
not tell him it was better when Triple H was in charge? Does somebody not just say, hey, Triple H really reinvigorated this thing?
I think he knows it was better. I think he's like, fuck those
doesn't care.
fucking fans. I'll show them what they want.
Yeah.
God damn it. With my mustache.
I don't understand. I do understand, but it's been driving me insane. You take so much momentum and so much storytelling and so much good stuff, and you throw it away in 2 hours.
For what? That's the question. We'll have to wait and see. That's the wrestling fans' favorite fucking thing to say. Wait, see how it plays out. But right now, for what?
Are you not going to say the big return?
Oh, Matt Riddle?
Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Gives a fuck.
Last line, or my producer's going to kill us.
I know. We got to get out
But
of here. Double play.
Last line, real quick.
I can do another hour.
All-time Mania that I will probably never watch again because of the ending.
I'll watch it again. I agree that it's an all-time Mania.
I think it's top 5 Mania.
I don't think it's top 5 because of the ending.
I think it could have been the GOAT if they stuck the landing.
So final 2 thoughts from me. So the Raw ends with Brock beating the hell out of Cody.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Vince to now have Lesnar pin Cody in 5 minutes at SummerSlam.
He better fucking not. Pin Cody
It's
at SummerSlam.
happening. It's happening.
Listen to me right now. I will turn... What is SummerSlam? August 6th? I will turn that into January 6th and go to Stamford, Connecticut if Brock Lesnar goes over Cody Rhodes
I
at SummerSlam.
don't see that bad.
I
Just roaming the halls with a flag.
And number 2, AEW. I am now your biggest fan. Do not let us down.
Oh, we can.
AEW has the wrestling world in the palm of their hand. I don't know what they have in store. Whatever they had in store for AEW Mania, do it
You should
tonight.
have been a fan already. Also,
I know, yeah.
But do
we
it
get
tonight.
you to Long Island Wednesday night.
Yeah, this Wednesday.
Are you guys going?
I'm not.
I can't.
Oh, okay. Well,
Damn, you should go.
You should go. Go by yourself. All right.
All right. Thank you,
well,
everyone.
that was my mom's asshole.
We'll do this
What's it
again
called?
sometime
My mom's
soon.
My mom's puss.
my mom's puss.
My mom's basement.